You guys are live.
We are live. Once again, we figured it out. We figured out all the buttons to push. We got this thing live. And this today is going to be, I'm telling you folks, this is going to be the best Friday live broadcast that we ever had in the Max Challenge, ever in the history of this whole thing. And I know it beyond a shadow of a doubt. And I'll tell you why. The backbone of this organization is the instructors. The instructors are waking up every single day at literally, for most of these folks, ungodly hours, dragging themselves sometimes. I don't think they're really dragging themselves because I think they're pretty psyched up about the Max Challenge and seeing their members, but getting themselves to the Max early in the morning and then providing an exceptional out-of-the-world experience that pumps our members up and even in these crazy times, helps people to focus on the positive. And I could tell you, I've heard over and over again, I repeat this almost every Friday, that literally 90% or more of people on the face of the earth are negative people, but I'm the lucky one. Why? I'm surrounded by these folks. And just a couple of minutes we were talking before this, they got me pumped up and excited. And I was reminded of what makes the Max special. And that made me feel good about myself. And it also made me pumped up, right? To get out and to do more, even in these trying times. So I'm going to just put it out there. You guys tell all those members out there, what makes the Max so darn special? And why would you choose to lead a Max Challenge program over any other of the opportunities that are out there? Anybody?
Oh, I'll take this one real quick. I'll go right into that last question. Why would I choose to lead? First off, hello, world. I'm Malcom, coming out of Springfield and Providence. Why would I choose to teach a Max class and be with the Max versus anywhere else? And for me personally, it's what it does for me internally. Seeing all the members come in, seeing them being receptive to my energy, seeing them being open to transformation allows me and reminds me that I can give myself permission to do the same, to be open for transformation, to be open for positivity, to be able to be okay with exercising optimism. And I see that every day whenever I step out into that mat. And it's at this point, it's an addiction that I love. And I can't see myself not being without this addiction. Maybe I'll change that word. But I think you guys know what I'm talking about.
It's a good addiction. There's good things, right? That we do that we get addicted to, right? Hey, I know who else feels this way. Like I'm addicted, right? But you know what I get addicted to? The positivity, and that makes me even better, right? So even right now, Malcom makes me better by saying that, right? So I can imagine, I don't have to imagine, I remember what it was like teaching every day and having people say, wow, this has been a fantastic experience. It's changed me. Who else has felt that? Who else?
I was going to just jump right in real quick. I got to tell you, Malcom, I was just feeding off of you as well. I do personal training on the side, but I got to tell you, when I started, I gave the people know this story, but I gave them the 10-week challenge. I was like, guys, let's see how this goes. 10 weeks, let's see what I like. Within 3 weeks, I didn't want to go school shopping, college shopping with my son because I didn't want to miss teaching class. I mean, you just feed off that excitement and energy as they feed off of you. And I'm always telling them, it goes both ways, guys. It goes both ways. Hearing them or seeing the post later, that power talk, oh my God, I went home and it hit home so much. Hearing that you're making a difference just warms your heart each and every day. So I'm right there with you, Malcom.
The hearing about making a difference, I think that's so there. Actually, it was Simon Sinek. If anyone ever heard of Simon Sinek, he's a motivational talker, but he's kind of low key motivated, not like, rah. He's like really like a mellow guy, but what he talks about makes so much sense. And he says that when you see somebody do something nice for somebody else, it actually causes a biological chemical reaction within your body, releasing endorphins, right? So not only doing something nice for someone else, so someone coming up to you and saying, that was a great class today, that power talk inspired me, whatever, it not only makes that person feel good because they see a smile on your face, that makes them feel good, it releases endorphins, and that it makes you feel good, but it also makes all the other, this is what Simon Sinek says, it makes all the other people in the room who witness the two people with the positive exchange, it makes them all feel better. And I see a lot of smiles on here. Who's felt something like that or has some sort of example where they felt like, man, this like they leave just so pumped up because they overheard like two members talk or whatever it might be. Some story. Anybody? Bueller?
Me. Am I muted? No, I'm here. Okay. I was like, me, I have a story. Okay. So hi, I'm Shawna. I'm from the one and only Lewes location in Delaware. Woo, all my people out there, I love you. But best transformation. So I don't know if you guys noticed a recurring theme here. It's emotional connection that we have with the Max Challenge. That's what sets us apart from any other gym I've ever worked. I've even owned a gym, and let me tell you, this is so much better. Like, this is so much better. The emotional connection that you create, that family atmosphere. So my transformation story here is we have a member who's a second year legacy. They're going on over 2 years now, legacy, perfect attendance, 100%, never missed a day. And she tells me all the time that the Max keeps her going. Every week, the Max has saved her. We're her new family because she lost someone close to her. And we came into her life at that time of her loss, and it helped her through the situation that she was having. And you could just see her transformation, and it wasn't just a physical one. And I know physical transformations are very, very important, and we love seeing those, but this was more of an emotional transformation. She was really, she was doom and gloom all the time, really sad, was in the back of the room. Well, she's still back there. That's her spot. When she comes back, she'll be there. She's never leaving that spot. But, you know, it's the person that starts in the back of the room and moves to the front of the room. And back to her story, her self-confidence has improved, her demeanor, her posture, her general outlook on life has changed. And I love to see that emotional transformation. I'm a very emotional person, and I'm also almost starting to cry here because I like to see that type of transformation. You know, the guys that started in the back of the room and now they're telling you, okay, it's 6 o'clock, or, you know, I've lost track of time, Shawna, it's been 30 seconds, or, oh no, wait a minute, we have one more set of that, you know. I know you guys get that a lot. So to me, you know, the Max Challenge is not just a place where I go and facilitate a workout and stand in front of somebody and bark out orders all the time. It's like, I'm really there emotionally with them. I really mean something to them. And that's what sets us apart. And there's the story of my transformation.
That's so sick. It's so like I'll clap for that. It reminds me, Shawna, of a very similar story. There was a woman, I believe it was in the Piscataway location, and she literally wrote me a letter. I had nothing to do with it. It was the instructor there that really led her through it. But she wrote me a letter to tell me how much she appreciated it. It was basically the same story. And she talked about how she was in the back of the room, but the reason why she was in the back of the room is she didn't want to see herself in the mirror. So she was literally positioning herself behind other people in the back, and so that she was out of line of sight of the mirrors. And she slowly but surely creeped her way up into the front. And then she, you know, goes on to explain how that spilled over into all areas of her life. Like, she's just more confident all around. And this, it wasn't about losing weight. It was about becoming a more confident person that could, you know, function better and be just a better parent, better at everything. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. There's got to be more transformation stories out there.
Well, I have something similar to Shawna. So, you know, with the pandemic and everything shutting down, you know, I think one thing that really set the Max Challenge apart from other gyms is we were on it. We immediately went to Zoom. We immediately were there for our members. And I know on Long Island, Long Island, we felt that. Our members really responded for that, and we were there for them through a really, really tough time, and they were there for us. We've got a couple of members who experienced some really great tragic loss during the lockdown, and they still showed up for classes, whether they were sad, whether they cried through the whole class, they showed up on Zoom. There's a big difference between going to the center and being in your home, in your bed, feeling sad, feeling sorry, and getting up out of your bed and logging on for your workout. We have several members in 5 Towns and Glen Cove who both did that. And even now we're turning back to the center. There are some members who may not have done Zoom, but you know, they have reactivated because New York is open now. So they reactivated and they came back, and they don't miss a day, and we're here for them. And it's just great to see that we were there for them. And that's one of the things that really sets Max Challenge apart. It's a community, it's a family, and our members are experiencing that now more than ever. And it's such a special thing, such a special thing.
I love it.
I'd say to kind of piggy off of you, Sam, my best transformation story, I would say, is the members as a whole. It's easy, quote unquote, to go into the studio and get your workout in, to walk there and see your friends and work out with them. But it's even harder to tune into a computer and do that virtually in your home with kids running around or dogs running around or trying to be quiet so you don't wake up people. Or it's really easy to wake up and not turn on that computer. So I would say out in Hoboken, I was so impressed with the transformation that our members made from being in person to moving to this virtual world. And it was really crazy to see that something we had been talking about for so long, and then actually seeing it happen, that the Max Challenge isn't the building. It's not the studio. It's not the instructors. It's not the workout. It's not the nutrition. It is 100% the members. And you can feel that whether you're in person or you can feel that virtual when everyone's on mute and everyone's going like this or giving you thumbs up or head nods or the chat is blowing up on the side. I would say like the best transformation at the Max, like what you're saying, Sam, is how they've all been able to adapt and still hold that community feel. I've had so many members that started with us virtual, so I've never been in the studio and can still feel that from the members. I even had this one member say, she's like, it's kind of funny that on my personal Facebook, like not on the group, that like the members still comment on my photos. Like they're still involved in my life. She's like, who would have thought that a gym would have brought in these super close friends that are actually involved in what I'm doing outside of the Max? And I just think that's sort of a testament to what this gym, if you want to call it, or this studio, or what this program does for you. It's not just a workout. It's not just nutrition. It's a lifestyle. It's a support group. And it truly is a family.
That's awesome.
So that is amazing. And if I could just jump in, it's really hard to be the last one to go because I echo all of you. We've only been around for a year. I'm Christine. I'm representing the Houston location here in H-Town. We've been open for over a year, and it has truly been such an incredible experience. And yes to everything that everybody said about the transformations. But I really think, you know, Bryan, you would open it up with like, what makes me as an instructor like want to get out of bed at 4 a.m. and get to the studio and drive to make sure that the roads are okay because we have flooding through these hurricane things to make sure our members are safe. And it really is. And it's funny because when I started, I had no idea what the Max was because we're in Houston. I was like, what is this Max Challenge? And even though I'm from New Jersey, I had not heard of it. And when I came up for boot camp training and everybody's like, oh my God, it's going to change your life. Wait till you see what it's like with members. I was like, oh, okay. Like I had not seen a class when I took this job. Like I just heard the concept and said, this is amazing. I love the concept, you know, where we put together nutrition and exercise and community and motivation. Sounds great. I went up for the boot camp training. All the instructors were like so supportive. I'm like, wait till you see, wait till you see. And it's one of those things like, until you actually experience it, you don't know. Because I was like, okay. Going through our first challenge, like every day, it was like a whirlwind. Like, who are these people? Are they going to show up? And then I see them show up every day. I see people that really needed the Max, some people that didn't need the Max, so like all walks of life, all ages, all abilities. And each day they kept showing up. I'm like, oh, that person, they're not going to make it to week 2. They showed up. Wait, made it to week 3, week 4. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, every day, like you said, like I was motivated, like they're showing up, they're putting in the effort. And I saw that transformation. I saw them with the nutrition. I saw them making friendships. I saw them getting into it. I saw them commenting on Facebook. I was off of Facebook because I got tired of social media, but I opened up my Max account. It is the one place I love to actually troll through because it's all positive. My Max account is only positive news feeds, and I love that. I tell everyone, create a new account. You only friend the Max people because it's amazing. But it really is a membership of community people where I, from my personal everyday motivation, love to be because The members are amazing. And when I see how they connect with one another and how they push one another, members that showed up because they just wanted to be supportive of the owners and said, oh, you know, I'm here, I want to try something new, but they still stay on. And to see in a classroom where you have all abilities, like I've never been in a situation. Usually you have certain levels, but because we really care and we accommodate, and seeing members look out for other members, like it is what we need right now in this pandemic, to know that there's still so much good in the world and we are still there for each other and we keep pushing each other and support each other. And I love that it's 10 weeks and not 30 days, because you're going to slip up, but we're there to help you, make sure that you don't fall and get back on track. And it's awesome. Everybody's been awesome. The whole experience has been awesome. Thank you, Bryan, for bringing it to life. It is amazing.
I thank you guys. And I just want to tell everybody, like, everything that you guys say means so much to me and pumps me up so much, you know, mostly because as you folks probably that I'm talking with already know, but I don't know that all the members out there know. So I'll say Max is my father's name. And my father always taught me, you know, try your hardest, be your best, and, you know, positive mindset, and how to block out the negativity. And even though there's going to be what they call these days haters, right? Even though there's going to be haters, you know, how to block that out, focus on the positive, and keep moving forward. So, you know, by you guys implementing this program in such an incredible way, it's, you know, an honor to me, you know, that the idea actually took hold and is being enjoyed by so many people. But every morning my father wakes up and he gets to turn on his social media. It's a struggle for him to figure out, you know, how to get to this or that, but he turns it on and he goes to those Max pages, and, you know, it's incredible for him to see that his name is on a business that is providing people with so much good, and that came from his heart. That was what he instilled in me for all those years. So, you know, in a business, you're bombarded by a lot of stuff. But when I get on a call like this, man, I'm like, wow, this is incredible. This is what the Max is about. This is being implemented in an amazing way. What would you guys say? And whoever wants to answer, just go for it. But what would you guys say to somebody who's struggling still with the virtual? Because I know there's tens of thousands of people. Well, right now we're at, I think, 30,000 people on this secret page, right? It's not really a secret anymore. We've got 30,000 people on it. There's 30,000 people on this secret page. And there's a lot of them. There's got to be tens of thousands that were doing the class before, but now they're not doing it because they didn't want to turn on the Zoom and they don't want to, and I totally get it. I didn't want to do, but man, there's so many benefits to it now. Like, I'm all in, and I hear of all these amazing, what would you say to somebody that's still apprehensive because they're afraid to go in the center, and but they're afraid of the Zoom too?
I'm going to take that one really quick. First, I'll introduce myself. I'm Sheryl McKinnon. I'm from Madison and Montclair, New Jersey, lead trainer. And I had a transformation story, but I'm going to go with this one. So virtual, I am an old fart, guys. I am going to be 56 next year. Technology is a foreigner to me. I hate it. But just like our members, when we had to dive in, I had to do all this. We had to learn this and learn this. And luckily, the youth in our organization have really helped groom me. But what I would say to them is that, just like I think it might have been Sam, we connect. Like, they think it's just a screen, and it's not. You guys are going to be part of our world. You can see us all right here. We've had a chat group before this call. We do that. We talk before class. We talk after. We high five. People I met I haven't even met some of the people in Montclair because my primary location is, but I've really befriended them on Facebook and this because of virtual. So it's a huge connection. I would just say, try it. That's what I told people all this week. Never doubt yourself. Never doubt your ability. Just give it a try and you will be hooked. The same way you were hooked when you came into the center the first time. You will be hooked virtually. I promise you.
Yeah, bouncing off of that, I think what's really important for people to know is that, like, you have the power. Everything that you need to start, everything that you need to continue, and everything that you need to finish is in you. All we do as instructors is bring that out of you. We don't give you something that you didn't already have inside of you, right? You have that capability. You just have to believe it. And that's what we do for you, whether it's through a screen or whether it's in person. You don't need dumbbells. You don't need bands. You don't need any sort of equipment. You don't need air conditioning, nothing, you know, to get in a great workout and to feel like you crushed it. You just have to believe that you have that ability. Like Sheryl, like you just said, you have the capability, 120,000 million %. So once you start to kind of flip the script in your head, ask yourself, why am I setting this limitation on myself? Because that's exactly what it is. Nobody but you is deciding that you cannot do this thing, right? So ask yourself, why am I setting this limiting belief? And how can I flip that? Okay, I'm gonna try it for a week and see how I feel. You know what? I haven't even tried it. That's silly for me to just discount it without trying it. Let's do it. And once you start to do the exercises again, see the community, see how we literally reach out to you through the screen, through your camera. It's like you never really left, you know? I think it was either Veronica or Shawna who said it, but that the max isn't the building, the max isn't the center, the max is the members, it's you. So whether you're at home or whether you're in the building, it doesn't matter, because you are powerful and you are capable and you can do this.
That's so awesome. I don't know, like I feel
ahead.
like running through a brick wall right now. You guys are so motivating. It's like, no wonder why so many people want to come to these classes. It's very, very motivating. And that's what the max is all about, right? It's actually more than motivation, because you're igniting something that already exists within the members. Like Samantha was saying, I mean, you're igniting something that already exists, and then it sort of becomes its own, takes on its own life once you get it rolling in the right direction. But it's that initial step forward, right, to create that new habit. Like, I think once somebody gets on the Zoom and does it the first time, the second time, the third time, then all of a sudden becomes part of their routine, and their body starts adjusting to it and saying, wow, I feel better after the workout than I did before. And then next thing you know, it becomes part of their routine. It's just that first initial step forward that's oftentimes the absolute hardest, the absolute hardest.
Yeah.
I personally could think of so many people that took that step and then killed it. Who's got some of somebody that was having a hard time with taking the first step forward, but then they did it and just never looked back? Anybody? How about that person that was in your class?
Well, I have
one more thing, week after week, month after month, and then all of a sudden they're there for like a year, but then all of a sudden you look and you're like, who the heck is this person? And you go like, what happened? Like, you know what? I woke up one day and I decided to just flip a switch on, attend the classes more regularly, follow the nutrition. And you guys know what I'm saying? Like, people were like kind of doing it, and they were kind of doing the virtual, and then they did it, like really did it, and then they knocked it out of the park. You guys are all shaking your heads, so you know what I'm talking about. Like, that happens all the time, right?
I actually had a member come by the studio yesterday to pick up some protein, and she walked in and I literally didn't recognize her. I didn't recognize her because she has transformed so much. And when people put masks on, I don't know why, because I can't see your mouth. I don't know who you are, but I don't. And I looked at her and I was like, she started the week before we had to shut down. So she's been basically virtual the whole time, and she's jumped on a couple live workouts here and there, but she's been doing mostly the recording. So we record our first workout, and she walked in and I was like, you look insane. And she was like, really? I was like, how do you not see? I was like, oh my God. I was like, yes. I was like, you need to take an after photo right now so you can look at what you were before when we started back in March, and look, it was mind blowing. It's crazy. And she's like, yeah, I've just been like getting myself in a routine. I figured if I'm quarantined at home, then I might as well work out and eat as healthy as I can. And I was like, absolutely. It was fantastic to see.
That's so awesome. And confidence goes up and energy goes up, and so many things that are beneath the surface. I saw Samantha nodding her head the whole time, and then I accidentally interrupted. Samantha, what do you got on those lines? Great story, Veronica.
So we have two members. They actually, they're mother and daughter, and they have been members for, I want to say, not even a year yet, but they are so consistent. There are also other ones who never miss a day. They have seen incredible results. And I came in, when I was hired, it was halfway through their first challenge. And so, you know, I met them when they were like kind of in the groove, but I saw them improve as it got further, but I never saw their before until thereafter. And I think also that's one of the most rewarding things as an instructor is looking at those pictures, because it's not just about how they look. It's their skin is glowing, their face is glowing, the smiles, Veronica, completely show their posture. It's completely different. I feel like we're playing charades right now. It's completely different.
Every time someone says posture, I'm like, okay, I've got to.
You can stand up straighter, but you know, even poses. Like one of the daughter, she like had a sassy little pose in her after picture. It was the cutest thing. But so they were consistent all throughout. They were consistent all through quarantine. We were doing outdoor classes. If there wasn't an outdoor class, they made it to a live. They made it, to a live. They did a recording. They were the first ones in center. And they are just so really exemplary of the Max Challenge. Those two women, they are so positive, so sweet, and they continue to level up. They continue to find new ways through Legacy to find stages that work for them and you know, help with their form. So yeah, they're just very inspiring, those two members. So that's all I wanted to say.
We should all clap. They're not even here, but we should all clap for them because that's so incredible. People don't realize it either, right? But they're living their own lives and they're just doing this for themselves or for their family or to be healthier. And then other people watch and it's inspirational to the other people. Like I never did that, you know, when I first got myself into shape, I never realized that, wow, like other people are watching and they're becoming inspired, and what a tremendous opportunity to make the world a better place just by inspiring other people to be the best versions of themselves through your example. So we're coming up towards the end, I think. We only got a couple of minutes. Go ahead. Who's there, Christy?
Oh, sorry, Christine. I was going to say, I don't know if you've all experienced this, but like when you're there every day seeing the members, like you don't necessarily see that change because you're watching them go through it. The first challenge I had to go away for at week 5, which was like so devastating. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe we're going to miss week 5. And I was like checking in every day. And then I came back and then I saw one of the members walking up from the parking lot and I looked at the person in the front desk. I'm like, who is that? Like, I didn't even recognize the person. And I didn't realize the transformation because I was seeing them and it had to take me to step away. And what's so amazing about that transformation is like, not only was it a physical transformation, but this is one of the people that week 3 is like, I don't know, I saw some benefits in the beginning, but I'm not so sure. I'm a numbers person. And I was like, no, trust the process. You're doing everything you're supposed to do. Just trust the process. And now he is one of like our poster children about the program. And it's seeing things like that. Like we know, like we come every day and we're preaching it, we're living it, and we're telling them, but like when those members walk through that door and they are just walking billboards, like it is the best thing and it's the best feeling. So.
That is so awesome. So, and not everybody gets to experience that. So it's awesome. Shawna.
I have something to say before we go. I know that you guys can all agree, all of the instructors here can agree with me that what makes this so amazing and what drives me to wake up at 4:30 in the morning is hearing all of our members' accomplishments, you know, listening to what they have done. And these are actual examples I have here. I can touch my toes. I can reach down and touch my toes. I've tied my shoes myself. I can walk on the beach now. I stood up from a chair without needing assistance. I played with my grandkids. I played with my kids. I used to drive around. There's this one store. I used to drive around the parking lot and find for the closest parking space to the grocery store, to whatever store they were going in. And now it doesn't stress them for that. They'll park far away because they're okay walking. They have the confidence. They have the mobility. They have the stamina to walk into the building. And so those are the types of things that get me out of bed. Members running hundreds of miles a month, 100 miles a month, biking hundreds of miles, climbing mountains. I mean, these are things that these members are doing, you know, and they they all attribute to the max, and what we do at the max to help them to get better with those things. And that to me is just my proudest moment.
So
All
awesome.
of it.
It's like the commercial says, it's priceless, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anybody have, not to put you guys on the spot, but does anybody have like a power talk that they could send us all off with? You know, just something inspirational that you've talked about at the end of a class that could maybe set the tone for everybody who's watching for the rest of their day. And it's the weekend, so for the rest of their weekend. It's that awkward
I
silence.
mean, I don't want to be the one and only, like I hope someone else gives a power talk too, but something that we've been talking about a lot during this last challenge, we've kind of been using the term rise up a lot. We talked about beginning of the pandemic, did the spring challenge and it was a fight, right? It was beginning of COVID. We didn't know what we were going to do. So we just kept fighting. And then the summer was our comeback. It was time to get ourselves back on track. And then now the fall, it's time to finally rise above this and move past this. And for those who are nervous to do the virtual or not sure that they can do it, the thing I always say to them is, why don't you want to try it? Because it makes you uncomfortable. Well, when we do things that make us uncomfortable, that's the point that we grow. And we're all here to grow. We're all here to change. We're in a constant state of improvement because if you are perfect as is, that's boring. No one wants to be boring. So I want you to constantly improve and grow yourself. So do the things that make you uncomfortable. Try the things that scare you and see what happens on the other end of it.
That was awesome. Great job to everybody. And that's a perfect way to send us off. I know that gets me thinking, right? That gets me thinking because every day I'm like, wow, this is all new. It's going to, and putting it in perspective. Yeah. When you're uncomfortable and you're outside of your comfort zone, that's when you're growing. And that's what we all want, right? We all want to change and transform into better people every single day. It's not going to happen in our comfort zone. It's only going to happen, as Veronica put it, by stepping out of our comfort zone and being okay with being uncomfortable. So let's do this, folks. Let's make the rest of this challenge the best ever. Let's all clap it up. I'm super psyched. Thank you to each and every one of you, not only for being here today with me, but for what you do for your members every single day. I truly, truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. And I will talk to all of you folks soon. Thank you very much. Take it to the max.